Now with Tears of the Kingdom steadily around the corner, and as one of the biggest Zelda fans, you could only imagine how excited I am to step back into this incredible version of Hyrule. But with this pending launch, it had me wondering, what has a better storyline? Breath of the Wild or Koei Tecmo's prequel spin-off Age of Calamity? Now we drop videos every Monday and Thursday at 7 PM GMT, so hit that sub bell so you can come and join me. And if you want to support the amazing content we make on this channel, please join our brand new Patreon. Now this video contains spoilers for both Breath of the Wild and Age of Calamity, but I'm assuming you've played both if you're watching this. But if not, and you don't want to be spoiled, then go and play the original games, drop us a like, and then come back once you've complete. Now my adventures with the Legend of Zelda all started with the Link to the Past many moons ago. I'll never forget them opening scenes. I remember being in bed, listening to the raindrops hit Link's roof, and my uncle leaving to rescue a princess. Me sneaking into a castle, and my first encounter with Princess Zelda. I fell in love with this franchise, the characters, the combat, and mostly the story. This game gripped me, and it elevated to a whole nother level when I played Ocarina of Time on the N64. Now I love Breath of the Wild, and it's even my second favourite Zelda game. Everything from the breathtaking open world like no other franchise and any game since, really. I love Link and Zelda's new design, the way Link's rocking a bright blue tunic with no cap on, leaving his hair flowing in the wind. And in a world where you can go anywhere and do everything that you see. This open world was its own character, giving every player their own story, allowing you to tackle the game however you want. This is an amazing open world, and the open nature made the story of Breath of the Wild be in the background instead of a linear story. All the big main story beats are seen through memories that Link will find around the world. Now Age of Calamity is not a game that can hold a candle to Breath of the Wild. That's not what we're talking about. We're strictly talking about the story. Koei Tecmo worked directly with Nintendo on the story for Age of Calamity, similar to how they did with Atlas on Persona 5 Strikers or Scrambled, depending where you come from. And it worked so well. This is great because we get a forward-facing, front and center story cut between each of the warrior-style combat scenes. So which game does it better?
No more time.
Breath of the Wild has some really cool in-game story beats. Meeting Impa, who was Granny Impa in this version of the game. Learning the story about Calamity Ganon, and I love my first interaction with Zidon. He is one of my favorite characters in the new Zelda games. And meeting the ghosts of the champions, which makes you want to learn more and more about them, which makes sense why we get the memories. But this is where Age of Calamity has a one-up on Breath of the Wild. You're not exploring an incredible open world. Yes, Age of Calamity, the world looks incredible, but it's in small chunks. You already know all of these characters. You've already had a bond with them, and you are aware of their awful fates that occurred 100 years ago before Link was put to sleep in stasis. Now I'm gonna say from the offset, I really don't like the whole time-traveling egg-shaped guardian, but we'll talk more about that later. From the start, I love seeing Link as one of Hyrule's soldiers, being addressed from King Rome as he sets out to battle. I love meeting young Impa. She is super dope, and it was great to see her combat style and see how her and Link would battle enemies together. Age of Calamity was great at letting us really interact with these champions that we hear so much about in Breath of the Wild. Getting to see firsthand how much passion Mipha has for Link was really cool as well. I love seeing how cute and brave baby Zidon was, and even getting to see more of the bad boy Rivali and how much he continued to be a jerk. But he had to put some respect on Link's name, even if it meant them battling it out 1-to-1. Yes, these are all of the things that we were told about in Breath of the Wild, and we got to see small glimpses. Like Riju is a sweetie, but no one is as badass as Urbosa. Fighting alongside her and seeing how much Zelda means to her, and even how close her and the king was incredible. I'm super glad that Nintendo also brought back all of the voice actors from Breath of the Wild, no matter how anybody feels about them, into Age of Calamity. I love it. Muso games are not known for their award-winning stories, and having Nintendo work on that aspect of the game with them, genius. As much as I really enjoyed Age of Calamity's story, there's a few things that I found super weak. I really hate that Terrico has added another timeline to the already complex Zelda timelines that we have. I had high hopes for the Dark Prophet Astar, but found him a little boring and underwhelming. I also wasn't too excited about the changes to Zelda and Link's relationships either. Breath of the Wild's Memories was the first time we see Zelda and Link who bump heads. Link continues to grow, and his courage really makes Zelda feel bad about her shortcomings. And this has been basically removed from Age of Calamity. Now, unlike others, I don't hate the end of Age of Calamity, but I was very disappointed that we didn't get to see the dark and awful end that we knew was coming. I completely understand why both Nintendo and Koei decided to change the ending. Finishing on such a dark and bleak way would be too much for some gamers, and not what the Zelda series is known for. But that's exactly what this game was meant to be. We know that in Breath of the Wild, the day was saved at the end. Like I said, I didn't hate the new, happier ending and completely understood why they did it. And honestly, I found it really fun to play, especially taking on a new form of Ganon, like a human Calamity version, but I think a darker tone could have been beyond epic. Although Breath of the Wild's story is mainly told through its open world, what Nintendo did with that game is taken to another level, and it widens what the story aspect in games really is. Yes, I personally would have preferred a more linear story, but this game is so special. I hope Nintendo is able to figure out how to do both in Tears of the Kingdom. I really want a forward-facing story with that open world experiences. But what do you think? What game story did you enjoy more? What story had you gripped? Did you love being able to interact with all of the champions in Age of Calamity, or was Breath of the Wild perfect for you? Thank you so much for staying to the end of this video. This is a different type of retrospective video for me, and I've really enjoyed doing it. So if you enjoyed the video, please hit a like and drop a comment and share, because it will do so much to help this video and the channel. We've recently set up a Patreon account to help us fund these types of videos. Our YouTube isn't monetized, so if you want to support Mr. Midas Games financially, the link is in the bio. But if you can't, it's all good. Once again, thank you for staying to the end of the video. Thank you for riding with me. You are the MVP. Tears of the Kingdom is so close. I can't wait.